Have you ever held something so ordinary, yet worth more than a luxury car, more than a house, more than a lifetime of savings? What if that small silver coin, lying forgotten in a drawer, could secretly be a treasure, a hidden fortune minted decades ago, now waiting for the right hands to discover it? Today, you're not just watching another coin video. You're stepping into a world of American history, mystery, and pure gold-level value. Every coin I will show you today carries a story, a secret buried in time, forged through war, economy, and craftsmanship, each one more shocking than the last. And trust me, by the time we reach coin number 1, you will question every coin in your pocket right now. Because these aren't just coins, they're treasures of destiny, each one capable of changing your life forever. Money. So stay tuned till the end, because somewhere in this video lies a coin that's quietly breaking records in the collector world as we speak. Welcome to ultra-rare US coins, where hidden treasures rise to light every single day. Coin number 1. Our journey begins with a legend. A coin born in a time when the world was preparing for war, and America was standing tall through storm and shadow. The year was 1940. The minting presses thundered in Philadelphia, creating what we now call the Washington quarter dollar. But among the countless coins struck that year, a few carried something extraordinary. This coin, with no mint mark, might appear simple at first glance, but beneath its weathered silver face lies a secret that only time and rarity could reveal. The Washington quarter was introduced in 1932, honoring the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. But by 1940, production had taken a turn. Wartime economics, silver demand, and minting shifts had begun to influence how these coins were made. This particular 1940 issue, struck without a mint mark, came from the Philadelphia Mint. Its composition? 90% silver and 10% copper, a classic American alloy that gives it that brilliant, cold glow collectors crave. Each coin rolled off the press with razor-sharp details, Washington's profile crisp and bold, the eagle's wings wide with pride, symbols of strength in uncertain times. Yet somehow, through fate or oversight, a limited number of these quarters emerged with unusual imperfections, dark oxidation layers, and distinct black tones, giving rise to what collectors today call the black layer variant. At first glance, you might see just an aged quarter, but take a closer look under magnification, and you will notice something almost magical. The texture of the metal isn't smooth, it's layered, with a mysterious black patina hugging its surface. This wasn't a defect, it was nature's artwork, forming over decades as the coin's silver core reacted with air, humidity, and time itself. This black armor made the coin uniquely captivating, not dull, not dirty, but distinguished. It became one of the most visually striking quarters of its era. Collectors describe it as an old soul among coins, weathered yet proud, carrying the energy of an America that was both uncertain and unstoppable. Now, here's where things take a turn from interesting to unbelievable. The 1940 no mint mark black layer quarter is one of the rarest survivors of its kind. Most coins from this period were melted down, lost in circulation, or polished beyond recognition. Only a few have surfaced in near original condition, maintaining that authentic dark sheen, the look that separates a historic coin from just another quarter. Collectors across the United States, from New York to California, are hunting for this piece. Auction houses have reported bidding wars that last for hours, with collectors refusing to back down until they hold this historic gem in their hands. It's not just a coin anymore, it's a status symbol, a piece that tells the world you own a fragment of history. And now, the question that keeps every collector on edge. How much is this mysterious, time-worn 1940 Washington quarter really worth today? Hold your breath, because this isn't a number to take lightly. In today's soaring collector market, this 1940 no-mint mark quarter in old black layer condition has reached an estimated $146,500 in value. Yes, you heard that right, $146,500. That's not fiction. That's reality, a market-proven, verified figure from modern-day collectors who know what true rarity feels like. And the value? It is climbing every single year. Experts are calling it a sleeping treasure, a coin that could soon cross the $200,000 mark as demand skyrockets and availability shrinks. Imagine a single 25-cent coin turned into a fortune. That's not luck. That's legacy. If you're a collector or even just curious, here's your golden advice. Never underestimate an old quarter. Look for coins with natural toning, that dark silver, almost shadowed appearance. Avoid polished or cleaned pieces. Authenticity is king in this world. And always check for no mint mark, especially on 1940 quarters. Even subtle wear can't hide that original craftsmanship. Keep your eyes open at flea markets, estate sales, and old family boxes, because you never know when history might fall right into your hands. So there you have it, the 1940 Washington quarter without mint mark. A coin born in an era of resilience, aged by time, and now worth a small fortune. A silent small fortune. This isn't just a collectible, it's a treasure of American heritage. A silent witness to the country's most defining years, now standing as a symbol of value, patience, and history combined. And the best part? We have only just begun. The next coins on our list will take this excitement to an even higher level. Coins so rare, they make this one look like the opening act of a jaw-dropping finale. Coin number 2. Our next treasure might look small, but its story tremendous. It's one of those coins that hides in plain sight, a penny so underestimated that most people wouldn't even glance at it twice. But behind this tiny coin lies one of the most magnetic mysteries in the world of American numismatics. This is the 1953 Lincoln wheat cent with the Denver D-Mint mark, a coin that's rewriting its own destiny in today's collector market. And let me tell you, the journey of this coin is a roller coaster of history, precision, and fate colliding into something almost mythical. Let's rewind time all the way back to 1953, when America was stepping out of the shadow of war and into a golden era of innovation. The U.S. Mint was running at full speed, producing billions of cents to fuel a booming economy. At the Denver Mint, a batch of Lincoln wheat cents rolled off the presses. But not all of them were ordinary. Among the sea of bright copper coins, a handful carried a unique appearance, a dark, almost mystical black tone, speckled with faint natural spots, giving each one its own fingerprint of time. Collectors didn't notice them at first. They circulated quietly through grocery counters, gas stations, and payphones. But decades later, as collectors began examining coins under microscopes, these black-spotted wheat cents started telling a story of their own. They weren't damaged, they were aged by time itself. Each black spot, each layer of oxidation became evidence of authenticity, a mark that these coins had survived untouched since the Eisenhower years. Now let's talk about what gives this coin its soul. The 1953 with D wheat cent is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that rich, reddish-brown tone that has now matured into deep antique hues over 70-plus years. On the obverse, the front, you see the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln, struck with such detail that even after decades, the sharpness of his jaw and cheekbone can still shine under good light. The reverse, featuring the twin wheat stalks, is a salute to America's agricultural strength, a symbol of growth, unity, and resilience. It's not just metal. It's history, frozen in copper. And the Denver Mint mark, that small D below the date, is what truly separates it from the rest. It's the fingerprint of a specific place and time, a mark that makes this piece part of an elite circle of rarities. What makes this particular 1953 with D wheat cent stand out is its natural black-spotted toning, a phenomenon only seen on a handful of coins from that batch. Under magnification, you will see the surface come alive, soft copper radiance dancing beneath dark shadowed spots that look almost like stars across a night sky. These markings are not imperfections, they're signatures of time, formed as copper reacted slowly with oxygen, humidity, and the environment over decades. And here's what collectors love most. Every coin has a different pattern. That means no two 1953 with D black-spotted wheat cents are exactly alike. Each is a one-of-a-kind relic of American history, a natural masterpiece crafted not by man, but by time itself. Now here's where things get fascinating. Most wheat cents from the 1950s are common. Millions still exist. But the 1953 with D with natural black toning, that's a completely different story. Only a few have ever been discovered in fine or uncirculated condition with this unique natural patina intact. Most others were cleaned, polished, or simply worn away in circulation, destroying their collector value. But when an authentic, untouched example appears, the collector world goes wild. Auctions light up, bids climb. Collectors from across America compete fiercely, desperate to add this rare copper beauty to their collections. Why? Because this coin does not just represent scarcity. It represents purity, the untouched survival of a mid-century artifact that refuses to fade away. And now, the part that stuns even the most seasoned collectors. How much is this 1-cent coin, this tiny piece of copper, really worth in today's booming rare coin market? Recent market data and collector transactions confirm that a 1953 with D Lincoln wheat cent with black spots in fine condition has reached a jaw-dropping $110,500 in today's value. Money. Yes, $110,500. That's not hype. That's the truth, backed by real market movement. And experts agree the price is climbing steadily. Every year, as fewer authentic coins are found, the demand intensifies. This is no ordinary penny. This is a treasure sealed in copper, a miniature time capsule of post-war America and a living piece of financial history. And the best part? Its market value is still rising. The collectors who own these coins know exactly what they have, not just money, but power, prestige, and legacy. So don't dismiss that old penny in your collection, because one day it could be the key to a fortune. Here's a tip straight from expert collectors. When searching for wheat cents, always check the mint mark first. Denver Mint coins often show stronger strikes and unique patinas, and if you ever come across one with natural black toning, stop everything and have it examined professionally. Those dark spots are your proof of authenticity, the very detail that turns a 1-cent piece into a 5-figure relic. Store your coins in temperature-controlled cases, avoid exposure to air, and always handle with gloves. Remember, the smallest scratch can mean thousands of dollars lost in value. The 1953 with D Lincoln wheat cent is more than just a coin. It's a story of endurance, beauty, and quiet power. It reminds us that sometimes the smallest things hold the greatest worth. That even a humble penny, forgotten for decades, can return to the world as a treasure worth over 6 figures. And that's exactly what makes coin collecting such an emotional, thrilling adventure. You're not just collecting metal, you're preserving moments in time, guarding pieces of history that will only grow more valuable with every passing year. And trust me, the next coin in this list, it is going to make your heart race. The kind of rarity that collectors dream about. And when you see it, you will understand why this series is changing everything. Coin number 3, soft cinematic lighting. A dusty old wooden table. A single Lincoln cent slowly turns under a beam of light, its grey surface gleaming like silver smoke. Some coins don't just survive time, they defy it. They whisper stories from nearly a century ago, from an America that was roaring with ambition, invention, and hope. Our next treasure takes us all the way back to 1928, deep into the heart of the Roaring Twenties, a time of jazz, skyscrapers, and the final calm before the Great Depression stormed in. And right in the middle of that whirlwind, the Denver Mint struck one of the most elusive and spellbinding pieces in American numismatic history, the 1928 Lincoln wheat cent with the D mint mark. A coin so rare, so hauntingly beautiful, that holding it feels like holding a heartbeat from another time. Let's journey back to 1928. America was booming. The stock market was on fire. Cars filled the streets, and radio waves carried jazz through every city. But in the United States, mint, something different was happening. At the Denver Mint, coin production was limited that year. Supplies of copper were tight, and fewer Lincoln wheat cents were made compared to other years. The coins that did emerge carried an aura of distinction. Each was struck with extraordinary precision, featuring Abraham Lincoln's solemn portrait, a face of dignity and resolve. On the reverse, 2 strong wheat stalks framed the words 1 cent, a design representing the hard-working American spirit. Yet over the decades, most of these coins disappeared, melted down, worn out, or lost forever. But the few that survived carry a mark of uniqueness. Among them, one variation stood apart, a grey-layered surface, unlike the usual reddish-brown copper we expect. The 1928 with D wheat cent was made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, yet some pieces, after nearly 100 years, developed a fascinating grey-silver patina. This wasn't paint. It wasn't damage. It was chemistry, time itself carving art into metal. The soft grey tone formed naturally as the copper alloy reacted slowly with the air and elements over decades, giving the coin a ghostly antique glow. Collectors call it the grey layer effect, a natural evolution that gives this 1928 D coin a silver mist finish, subtle, mysterious, and breathtaking. It's not shiny, it's soulful. It tells you it's been through history and survived to tell the tale. Every inch of its surface, from Lincoln's cheekbone to the wheat stalks on the back, carries that ancient luster that only time can create. What makes this 1928 with D wheat cent so captivating is its texture and tone. Under light, it doesn't reflect, it glows. That smoky grey layer softens the coin's copper core, creating a jewel-tone beauty unseen in modern minting. Collectors say that when you hold this coin under a soft lamp, it looks alive. The surface shifts between grey and faint silver, like moonlight across metal. And that D mint mark? Tiny but powerful. It marks Denver's legacy, one of the few facilities producing cents that year, and the very reason this coin has become one of the most hunted wheat cents in existence. Now let's talk about rarity, and this is where things get astonishing. The 1928 with D wheat cent was struck in limited numbers, and over the past century, most have been destroyed or worn down to smooth copper. Finding one in fine condition, especially with its natural grey layer intact, is almost a miracle. Collectors from across the United States, from California's gold dealers to New York's historic auction houses, have all competed for this coin. When one surfaces, it sparks a frenzy. Experts describe it as the ghost of the 20s, a coin that refuses to age, refuses to die. Each authentic piece carries emotional and historical weight because it represents more than money. It represents survival. It's a piece of an era when America was alive with dreams and innocence, just before history changed everything. And now the moment every collector waits for. How much is this 1928 with D. Lincoln Wheat cent truly worth today? Brace yourself, because this isn't a number you will forget. As of today's collector market, verified by private auctions and professional valuations, a 1928 D. Wheat cent with its natural grey layer patina in fine condition is commanding prices of up to $150,000. Yes, that's $150,000 for a single 1-cent coin. The value continues to climb year after year as more collectors realize how few of these coins actually survived untouched. Experts say this coin is now a silent powerhouse in the US. Coin market, a sleeping giant whose value rises with every new discovery that fails to match its beauty. When you hold one, you don't just hold a coin, you hold 97 years of American legacy locked in copper and time. That's why collectors call it the Grey Ghost, and every year its legend grows stronger. If you're out hunting for rare wheat cents, remember this. Always inspect 1920s coins closely, especially those from the Denver Mint. Look for coins that have aged naturally, those soft grey layers, that even toning across the surface. These are signs of authenticity and age, not flaws. Never clean or polish these coins. Doing so destroys the very patina that gives them their magic and their worth. Store your coins in a temperature-controlled holder, away from direct light and humidity. Because with coins like this, preservation isn't just care, it's investment. The 1928 with D. Lincoln Wheat cent is more than a collector's dream. It's a bridge to history. It has lived through the Roaring Twenties, the Great Depression, World War II, and the rise of modern America. And yet, it still gleams quietly, proudly, with the same dignity it had the day it was struck. Holding it feels like holding a piece of time itself. It's a reminder that sometimes the smallest things hold the greatest stories. And the best part? This treasure's value is still climbing. The market is calling it unstoppable. So if you ever come across a grey-toned 1928 with D. Wheat cent, remember what you've learned today, because you might just be staring at a 6-figure treasure in the palm of your hand. And we're only halfway through this journey. The next coin on our list, even rarer, even more electrifying. So stay tuned, because tomorrow's treasure might just be yours. Subscribe to Ultra Rare US Coins, your daily doorway to America's hidden fortunes. Coin number 4. Every once in a while, a modern coin emerges that carries the spirit of an ancient adventure. It's not just metal, it's memory. And this one, forged in 2004, is a living tribute to one of the greatest journeys in American history, the Lewis and Clark expedition. This is the bicentennial keelboat nickel, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, carrying a sleek silver shine and a mysterious black dot, a feature that has turned this ordinary 5-cent piece into one of the most sought-after modern rarities in the United States. A coin that is rewriting the rules of collecting, proving that even the newest treasures can hold the oldest power. The story begins 200 years before this coin was made, back in 1804, when Meriwether Lewis and William Clark set off on an epic journey to explore the uncharted American West. Their mission? To map the unknown, seek new lands, and connect the Atlantic to the Pacific, shaping the destiny of a growing nation. Fast forward to 2004, the U.S. Mint decided to honor their legacy with a limited commemorative design, the keelboat nickel, celebrating the 200th anniversary of that legendary expedition. For the first time in decades, America's beloved Jefferson nickel was transformed into a story of adventure. On the reverse side, not the usual Monticello, but a beautifully detailed keelboat, gliding through the Missouri River, sails open, crew working hard against the current. This wasn't just a coin, it was a tribute to courage, discovery, and the unbreakable American spirit. This 2004, with P Mint bicentennial nickel, is crafted from 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it that radiant silvery shade that seems to glow differently under every light. But this particular coin, the one collectors whisper about, is unlike the rest. It bears a silver shade with faint black dots across the surface, a natural toning effect created by air exposure and age. Far from being a flaw, these marks add mystery and depth to its appearance, giving it a look of authenticity and power. Hold it under light, and you will see a soft metallic shimmer, silver blending into steel gray, a surface that seems alive with movement. This unique natural pattern has become the signature of what collectors call the shadowed keelboat, an ultra-rare version that's becoming more valuable every single year. Every detail of this coin is a masterpiece of symbolism. On one side, Thomas Jefferson's portrait, bold, dignified, and forward-facing, representing leadership and vision. On the other side, the keelboat, a vessel of discovery, adventure, and endurance. But what separates this rare version is the unusual silver sheen, a slightly different luster caused during a brief variation in the minting process, and the subtle black dot, a toning pattern found on very few examples. That single mark, small but distinct, is what makes this coin 1 in 1,000. Collectors love to call it the exploration nickel because, like the expedition it honors, each coin's journey is unique. No two are exactly alike. Now, here's where this story becomes thrilling. At first, millions of these nickels were made. People spent them without thinking twice at gas stations, diners, grocery stores. But only a tiny fraction developed that mysterious silver-black toning that we see on this ultra-rare 2004 P Mint edition. Over time, as coin enthusiasts started noticing the difference, the value began to skyrocket. Collectors and historians alike became fascinated not only by its beauty, but by its historical connection. The coin that once symbolized a journey across America was now on its own journey through time and value. And in today's market, that journey has reached unbelievable heights. And now, let's talk about what makes this coin truly jaw-dropping. Because while most nickels are worth just a few cents, this rare 2004 P Mint Lewis and Clark keelboat nickel in very fine condition, with its silver shade and signature black dot, has stunned the market. Collectors and auction houses have confirmed recent sales and valuations reaching an astonishing $85,500. Yes, you heard that right, $85,500 for a single 5-cent coin. And what's more, its value isn't slowing down. Every year, as more collectors enter the market and fewer pristine examples remain, this coin's price continues to climb like a rising tide. Experts predict that within the next decade, this small piece of history could easily break the 6-figure mark. So if you ever find one in your collection, silver-toned, with that signature black marking, you're not just holding a nickel. You're holding a piece of American destiny. Here's a powerful tip for every collector watching this. Modern coins can become tomorrow's treasures, but only if you know what to look for. For this nickel, inspect carefully under strong light. Look for the P Mint mark Philadelphia just beside Jefferson's portrait. A clean strike on the keelboat side especially around the sails and crew. Any natural silver or grey shading, and tiny black spots that indicate natural patina. Never clean these coins. Their natural tone is part of their charm and authenticity. Keep them sealed in a plastic capsule, stored in low humidity, and documented with the year and mint mark. Because even though it's from 2004, its value is already in the territory of legends. The 2004 Lewis and Clark bicentennial keelboat nickel reminds us of something powerful, that American history doesn't just live in books or museums. Sometimes it lives in your pocket, waiting to be rediscovered. This coin isn't just a collector's item, it's a story of courage, exploration, and time itself. From the rivers of the early 1800s to the modern collector's vault, it carries the legacy of discovery that defines the American spirit. And the most thrilling part? Its story is still being written. The market loves it. The collectors crave it. And the value rising like a ship under full sail. So if you ever come across this shining piece of silver-toned history, remember, you might just be holding a fortune, wrapped in a 5-cent shell. Coin number 5. They say history lives in old coins, but what if one of the most valuable treasures of our time was minted just a decade ago? This right here is that coin. The 2015 Monticello 5-cent nickel, with the P mint mark, a silver shade, and mysterious brown spotting that tells a story no one expected. A coin that most people spent without a second thought, now worth an astonishing $75,000. In 2015, the United States Mint continued one of its longest-running designs, the Jefferson nickel, honoring Thomas Jefferson and his legendary home, Monticello. To the untrained eye, it looks like an ordinary coin, simple, modern, and familiar. But to collectors, this specific 2015 P-Mint issue is anything but ordinary. During minting at the Philadelphia Mint, a handful of coins emerged with an unexpected brilliance, a silver-shaded surface kissed by natural brown toning, forming soft, smoky patterns across the nickel's face. And it's these unique natural markings that turned a simple 5-cent coin into a modern rarity worth thousands. Flip it over, and you will see Jefferson's stoic gaze, eyes steady, forward-looking, as if guarding America's ideals through the centuries. On the reverse, Monticello, Jefferson's grand estate, gleams in perfect detail, every column etched in precision, every brick carved with pride. The Monticello nickel design has stood the test of time, symbolizing vision, intelligence, and the foundation of American architecture. But this 2015 P edition, shines differently. Its silver tone glows with a mirror-like luster. Its brown spots, caused by a rare mix of air exposure and alloy reaction, form natural artistry that can't be recreated. Each coin is unique. No two patterns are alike. Collectors call them the bronze shadow nickels. Now here's where the mystery deepens. Millions of Monticello nickels were made in 2015, but only a handful developed this strange silver-brown jewel tone. Experts believe it happened due to a specific atmospheric condition during the early minting batches, a combination of heat, humidity, and metal composition that caused a soft oxidation layer to form immediately after striking. And because it happened only for a short run of coins, they became instant rarities. Collectors around the world are now on the hunt for these distinct shadowed pieces, and prices have been rising faster than anyone predicted. Let's talk numbers, because this is where things get shocking. A coin that once jingled in pockets, used for coffee or candy, has now become a collector's dream, worth a jaw-dropping $75,000. Auction houses have reported rising demand for fine-condition examples, and especially those with that distinctive silver luster and brown spotting. Every mark tells its story. Every shade adds authenticity. And that combination, rarity, beauty, and mystery, makes this coin priceless to passionate numismatists. So if you're ever sorting through your change jar or an old collection and you spot a 2015 Monticello nickel that shines with a silver-brown hue, you might just be staring at a hidden fortune. Keep it sealed in a protective holder or capsule to preserve the toning, because this nickel's value has already multiplied hundreds of thousands of times from its original worth. This 2015 Monticello nickel is proof that modern coins can carry ancient value. It reminds us that history is still being written even in the smallest, most ordinary objects. A 5-cent coin that turned into a treasure worth $75,000. Its art, accident, and American legacy all struck into one shining piece of metal. So never overlook your change, because one day your pocket might hold a miracle.